I got a new vehicle, and you know, I must say, man, I must say, yeah, man, get that Instacart shit out the way, man. Go buy your own food. I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, go buy your own food, nigga. Go buy your own food, nigga. I was a victim. I was a victim back in the day. Figure that shit out. Like to hear. Figure that shit out, man.
Stop being lazy. Go pick up your own food. Go get your own. You want something? Go get it yourself. You don't got to spend the extra however many dollars for that delivery. Just
lazy ass niggas.
We can go to the store. You might see something else you might want. Like that's what, man. See, now you see the vision. I'm glad you see the vision.
I always saw the vision. I just had to cope. You feel me? I was.
That's real.
Oh shit! Shout out to the disabled and shout out to LeVar Ball. Hope you get well soon. Welcome back
for sure
to another episode of the Play for Keeps podcast, the only podcast where we call people cornballs. That we are the casual podcast, the podcast for casuals. If you don't know ball, this is the place for you.
All right, bro.
If you don't know ball, this is the place for you so you can get educated. You feel me? Help us help you. And of course, it's Black History Month.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
Look. Does he lie? Maybe.
Donation.
He ain't lie about this.
Donation.
He ain't lie about that.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that.
You do have the power to change that. And put a link down below for the people that already contribute.
All I hear is this check came in. I love it when you talk to me. My cat's machine. I love it when you talk to me. My cat's machine.
Hey man, just come in, man. Go ahead and just donate, man. Donate. Hit the link if you want to do something
life changing.
Come on now.
I was wondering if you're gonna hit the Dana button.
Life changing.
And shout out to him commenting that shit. We saw nigga. That nigga said that shit in all caps. That's how. Hey, that's how we moving. That's how we move. Jax, is that how you moving?
Facts.
That's what happens when you're with black women.
Like, I mean, oh damn. Like, look, that's what happens, nigga.
That's what happens when you're with black women.
I don't know what to tell them.
They ain't never lied to me.
That nigga ain't never lied to me. Dr. Umar may have. Dana in the building ain't never lied to me.
Hey, that might not be true. I digress.
Well, he ain't never lied to me. I can only speak for myself. I am your host, Greg.
What's up? I'm Jackson, your other host.
Absolutely. This is the Play for Keeps podcast. Welcome to the show. We have a few things to talk about. I'm not going to say there's a lot of things to talk about. We already talked about All-Star Weekend last pod, this pod. Even though we only have a few things to talk about, there are some things that just missed the mark, and we do not care. Just don't give a fuck about. The first thing I would say is the Yankees finally giving up their no beard rule after 49 years.
That rule is so it was stupid to begin with. I don't even know why you implement it. The Yankees been around forever, so I don't know what caused them to implement it, but I'm glad they took it back. It's so stupid, bro.
It was more of like a rule of like, we want our players to be clean cut. Who cares? They probably fucked that rule up because they probably wasn't able to get somebody that they were supposed to get.
Exactly. I would not I wouldn't go to the Yankees if I was like a free agent or whatever, and they had that rule. I'd be like, no, I'm not going. That's stupid. Or if I went, I just wouldn't have done it either.
All right,
so,
bro. All right, nigga.
what?
700
What
mil
you
gonna
gonna
make
do?
me shave this bitch real quick. I don't care.
Once they give me
700
the money,
million.
I'm gonna do it. I'll sign a contract and do whatever I want. You give me 700 million, I'm gonna have a beard if I want.
All right.
What
All right.
can
I'm
they
telling
do?
you.
Nothing.
Look. All right.
I'm
I believe.
saying.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just telling you what I did. 700 mil. I'm a babyface assassin, my nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about it because now I got to see niggas that I'm not used to without facial hair now have facial hair.
See,
And I
that's
feel
the
like
problem.
Aaron Judge is gonna look weird with some facial hair.
See, that's your problem. I don't know what any Yankee player outside of Aaron Judge looks like, so they won't look weird to me.
Well, you said you was gonna watch baseball this go round, so
the season hasn't started yet.
You said what?
The season hasn't started yet.
Well, we're approaching spring. We're approaching.
It hasn't started yet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying, you gonna the Yankees went to the World Series, so you gonna see some of them. You gonna see some. Okay. Also,
We do not care.
we got the other ones that we don't care about.
We don't care about the Joey Bosa getting cut rumors just because it hasn't happened yet. So when it happens, I guess we'll talk about it if it happens. But right now, I don't care.
I only care if that nigga go to the West Coast. I mean, he already on the West Coast, but
you're on the West Coast.
He goes to San Fran. He goes to San Fran. Now you got two of them.
Him and his brother started Master Race. Him and his brother and Big Tuna. Was that his name? Or
Joey
Batters. Joey Batters. Yeah, Joey Batters.
Joey Batters, the Big Tuna. Oh man, it's been I ain't gonna lie, no funny shit. It's been an incredible run for the white race. It's really pissing me off. Not gonna lie to you.
Niggas can't stop.
Cooper DeJean, Luka, fuck.
Jokic is still the best player in basketball. Like it's nothing like we can't. Mac McClung.
Jesus,
we can't do anything.
Fight back. Damn. Anyway,
we do not care.
Speaking of somebody that's not fighting back, shout out to Mitch McConnell, somebody we don't care about as well, but he's
stepping down finally, and I'm a little sad.
Glad
it was funny to laugh at him, but we can't laugh at him no more because he won't be in the public eye. So I got to find another old politician who doesn't understand to laugh at. But I don't think it'll be hard. I'm not gonna hold you.
It won't be hard. We might find that bitch tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not.
I'm not gonna. I seen a video of somebody the other day falling down, so I was like, okay, he might be the next one. I forget his name. I can't remember.
You don't even know his name. He's just like
I tried to find it again, but I couldn't find it. So I was like, yeah, whatever.
Are you scouting politicians to laugh at?
I mean, if I see a video of one looking like they're gonna die, I have to watch the whole thing just to see what happens. I wouldn't necessarily call that scouting, but I wouldn't say it's not scouting.
It's film at best.
Film study. At best.
Doing way more than what Jamarcus Russell did. So I'm gonna call it film. And finally,
we do not care.
Don't care about LeVar Ball. Shout out to him. Shout out to LeVar Ball. Got his foot amputated. That's big. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to downplay.
Like we don't care about the jokes. We don't care about the jokes people are trying to make about LeVar Ball.
Absolutely. And he's in good spirits. The way this man's smiling.
Yeah.
Look. Shout out to him.
Man, that picture was crazy. I just seen like LeVar Ball foot amputated. I was like, what? I didn't even know that was something on the table for him. But like I was like, damn. Like you said, he seemed like he's happy, relatively speaking. So I'm glad about that. And all three of his sons are successful, so can't really hate.
Let's go ahead and get started with we're going football. Yeah, let's go ahead and go down to Arlington, Texas. give
Actually,
praise.
real fast before we do that, we got to shout out. We didn't watch it, obviously. I mean, not obviously, but I'll be honest. I ain't watch it. And I can know you didn't watch it. But them hockey, like Canada, they won that little hockey Four Nations tournament thing. It seemed live, but that's all I can say about that.
I did see that on the internet. I think I saw it on Twitter, and I saw some discourse.
I just know, like, on the first game, they started fighting. Like, as soon as the puck dropped or whatever, like the Canada US started fighting one game, and that was tough to me. It might make me tap in one of these days. I would go to a hockey game. I bet I feel like they're live in person.
It's worth it. You do get your money's worth. You do get your money.
I would go to a hockey game.
Yeah, I think Connor McDavid is cold. Shit. Whenever the Blackhawks come up here, I gotta see that 19-year-old ass nigga. He is the truth. That nigga is the truth. Had some shit going on last year that was out of his control. Personal. But look, once that got cleared up,
adversity.
The brother can ball, nigga. All he needs is a little bit more weight on him. This really the Wemby story. We'll talk about Wemby, but once he gets more weight on him, so he can really shoulder a nigga. Oh, he gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot because I was gonna use this as my hot take, but I just think it's way too large. Pause to just use as a hot take. It is a part of the we do not care, but it just has to.
We do not care.
Rob Parker was right. Let's teach people a little bit of a Black history lesson about Rob Parker. All right, Rob Parker, he still is a journalist out of Detroit, and I remember back in the day, he had some criticisms for RG3. Now, the only reason why I'm bringing up RG3 is because my brother in Christ, Jax, sent me something that if I have to see it, the whole world must as well. Robert Griffin III, when you accidentally take melanin instead of melatonin to fall asleep. All right, man.
Now you may be wondering what exactly Rob Parker's comments were, and that was he called RG3 a cornball brother.
Oh, don't.
And in this video for the audience that for the people who couldn't see or whatever, that was RG3 or his wife. And the caption said, "When you take melanin instead of melatonin to fall asleep." RG3, his wife is white, obviously. In the video, she quote unquote falls asleep, and then when she wakes up, it's really RG3 dressed in his wife's clothes.
And this is not the first time RG3 has done cringeworthy interracial type content. But just for a reminder for everybody else, this is what Rob Parker got fired for. He got fired for these words.
Getting fired for this is hilarious.
But my question, which is just a straight, honest question, is he a brother or is he a cornball brother?
What does that mean?
Yeah, explain that.
Well, he's not really, okay? He's black,
What does that mean?
but he's not really down with the cause. He's not one of us. He's kind of black. He's in the, but he's not really like the guy you really want to hang out with because he's off to something else.
Why is that your question?
Well, because that's just how I want to find out about him. I don't know because I keep hearing these things. We all know he has a white fiance, and there was all this talk about he's Republican, which there's no information at all. I'm just trying to dig deeper into why
Journalism.
He has an issue because we did find out with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was like, I got black skin, but don't call me black. So people got a little wondered about Tiger Woods early on about him.
What do RG3's braids say to you?
Now that's different because to me, that's very urban and makes you feel like I think you would have a clean cut.
End this video. End this video. This everybody's line of question in this video is horrible.
He said, "No, what does his brain tell you?" How does
he said that so serious? Like he was. What does his braids tell? Like he said it so serious. Like what do we?
Hey man, that nigga, that nigga Skip really said, "Hey, what is it? The braids?" That nigga really said it. He prematurely said it.
Is that where Kendrick got the inspiration from?
Shit.
From
Hey,
the real note, because Skip Bayless is a known like hater for real. So when you think about it, like,
hey, if you ask a Kendrick fan, you might be onto something. Nah, man, but like I said, shout out to Rob Parker. You were overhated for your comments, and I'm here to let you know on Black History Month. People just had to understand you was just a black journalist from Detroit, Michigan. Your heart was in the right place, and you were not wrong. You were not wrong.
I think it was sort of like the right question, but the wrong platform. Like he shouldn't have asked that on that particular platform.
You know, like
that's
the pivot.
That's what you asked in the group chat.
You say that in the pivot. You say that on the pivot. You know what I mean? You say it on one of them platforms. Them platforms weren't made yet. Rob Parker had to sacrifice himself so that others can have these smaller. You say this shit on the Cam Newton 4th and 1. You say those things on those kind of platforms. Stephen A's world.
That's something Cam Newton would say.
Cam Newton would definitely say some shit like that.
That's a question Shannon Sharp would ask, but anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's actually get into some real topics. Let's start in Arlington, Texas. The Dallas Cowboys. The only thing good coming out of there is the retirement of Zack Martin. I don't have the stats, but that's an amazing Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame career, has more. I think it was a stat that was like more Pro Bowl selections than holding penalties.
Yeah,
career holding penalties, which is nuts.
And
if it wasn't for the 3 that he did, if it wasn't for like the 2 or 3 he did this season, he would have had more first team Pro Bowls. So first team Pro Bowls than holding.
First team All Pros.
Yeah, because he had 7 first team All Pros.
Yeah,
and he came into this past season with like 5 holding, if I'm not mistaken, 5 holding, whatever. Yeah,
and this season was obviously his final season. He was hurt a lot. I think he ended the year on injured reserve, so like it was his worst season. But he was just older and hurt, but he was still good, bro. So Zack Martin is probably the second best guard in Dallas Cowboy history, because I know they had like Larry Allen and he was the truth back then. But like Zack Martin was absolutely amazing, and it's just another career squandered by Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, because he didn't like Zack Martin, Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith, Jason Witten, Tony Romo, Dez Bryant, Zeke. Who else was like cold but didn't get a Super Bowl with Dallas? DeMarcus, where he got a Super Bowl but not with Dallas. Who else?
Dez.
DeMarco Murray, like
DeMarco. The
it's
list
just
goes
so many good players have just came through this franchise and got nothing to show for it, unfortunately.
Oh, they got. I mean, at least with Zack Martin, at least he's gonna have a gold jacket.
Yeah, for sure. That he should be first ballot, no question.
Yeah, it shouldn't even
questions asked.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. What year did he get drafted?
I want to say like 2013, maybe.
I was thinking 2013. Because, man, that 2015, 2016 offensive line, my fucking goodness. The last time we had a good healthy Tyron Smith, I think.
Oh
my
He was drafted in 2014.
2014, that makes sense.
Yeah.
2014, that definitely makes sense. DeMarco Murray was going crazy that year too. So, man, I don't know what to say, man. Just what a hell of a career. That's the only positive thing I'm probably gonna say about the Dallas Cowboys for the rest of the offseason. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Have you heard about any of the Matthew Stafford rumors? Because
I have not heard not one rumor at all.
Apparently, the Rams are a little bit tired of not just Matthew Stafford. Maybe tired of Matthew Stafford is the wrong word, but Matthew Stafford, he's older. He's 37 now. And he's getting up there in age. And you know, quarterbacks once they start to get like 35, they start to fall off. And they're thinking about trading him. And one of the reasons they said was they're actually getting tired of his wife on her podcast talking about the franchise. So that's one of the factors to why they want to sort of get rid of him. And I found that funny. But then it's also, I think they said that his brother-in-law just got hired as like a quarterback's coach or something for the New York Giants. So people have been speculating he's going to get traded there or he's going to get cut and go there this next season. So the Giants don't have to waste a draft pick on the quarterback. And if that happens, I don't like Matthew Stafford. I think he's going to be relatively decent, but this just goes back to what I always be saying. Like these quarterbacks, these niggas are too old. They need to retire. Like you've made like hundreds of millions of dollars in your career, bro. You don't need to keep playing. You just want to get hurt.
Yeah. And Jax, I don't know, man. Like every time you bring up something, I just go back to the same thing I always say, man. Like, you see what happens when women don't talk less? When women don't, you see this shit, bro? They tired of her yapping on a podcast. Niggas think she thinks she me and you. She thinks she me and you for real. This is crazy. Like, gotta chill out, yo. Come on. But
I can
in all
imagine like,
seriousness,
or you can say,
you said you can't imagine what?
I was gonna say I can imagine going from the Rams, who were one game away from the Super Bowl, to playing for the New York Giants. I can imagine that.
I mean, if I'm Matthew Stafford, I can imagine it. I came from the Detroit Lions. Look,
I know Sean McVay changed that broke. Sean McVay changed that broke nigga life, and now even go back to poverty.
Shit, we being honest, shit. Detroit changed that broke nigga life. Sent that nigga over there.
Fair enough. Yeah. Dan Campbell
could have held that nigga like, no, you're not going. They could have Myles Garrett the nigga. No, you staying here.
I mean, if he would have stayed with Detroit, they could have won the Super Bowl. Like replace Jared Goff with Matthew Stafford right now. Like,
yeah, but like
would have been cooking last season. So.
Yeah, but like you don't get the amount of picks that came with that.
Fair
you
enough,
don't get the Jahmyr Gibbs and the all the toys you got. They was 0-16 for a reason. Niggas was ass.
I feel like that trade was like the first ever like win-win trade, like a clear win-win because everybody was happy with the results of that trade. So it's good.
Yeah, business. I know. Nobody regrets anything about that.
Yeah.
Both sides, either player. Sure. Like it is what it is. But for him to go to New York, that's still not worse than old Detroit. At least you got some weapons. At least you got some
team I feel like it's worse than old Detroit is probably like the Browns, just because that franchise is cursed.
Yeah, that's not saying much. But I say all that just to say I say all that to say, look, the New York Giants is not they're bad, but they really are one quarterback away from being like this is not complete ass. Like this is serviceable. This is a serviceable team. You got Malik Neighbors, you got Brian Daboll. All you need is probably like they got to chill out with that running back by committee thing, and properly replace Saquon at some point. But it's not horrible. Now they ain't got no offensive line.
They won't be two cheeks. They'll just be one cheek if they get a quarterback.
Absolutely, very much like a 500 team, honestly, or a game below 500 type of team with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
barring if he's of course healthy and stuff. They have enough weapons to make that happen. Shit, if Daniel Jones can give you X amount of games, he can't be worse than Danny DeVito.
Isn't it Danny? No, see, Danny DeVito, the actor.
I thought Tommy DeVito was the actor. I'm tripping.
No, I think Tommy DeVito's the quarterback. See, that's how you know he's bad because we can't even distinguish.
No, all that means is we've been spending way too long with this fucking topic because we. Oh shit, that was the wrong one. My bad.
We do not
I
care.
don't give a fuck about that shit for real, for real. Tell your wife to calm down. Tell your wife to,
or tell her keep talking if you want to leave. But let's move on to some real topics, which is what's going on in the NBA.
Okay.
And you guys may or may not have gotten the news, but unfortunately, Victor Wembanyama is out for the season.
RIP my fantasy league.
You have your basketball fantasy?
Absolutely.
That's
huge
very
blow.
tough.
Huge blow.
Very, very tough. But he's been ruled out. He has, I believe the term is deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder. Now, what exactly is deep vein thrombosis? Don't ask me. I have no idea.
They're basically calling it a blood clot. And they're pretty much shutting him down for precautionary. Well, not precautionary, but it's like they're basically shutting him down for the season to get that taken care of. Based off of what they're saying he should be good and ready to go by the start of next season by shutting him down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that it was catching their attention due to his sluggishness. The last couple games before All-Star break. And then once he got the All-Star break, they still felt he was kind of sluggish and he was still kind of not himself, which kind of raised concerns. But I think this is one of the rare occasions where I'm not as worried as I once initially was. When you hear blood clots, like, damn, okay, that ended Chris Bosh's career. But the way they're framing it, okay, like because we caught this pretty early, he should be straight. I think somebody. Oh, I mean, I think Asar Thompson had a blood clot issue last season as well. So he'll definitely need to make sure he's, it's going to take him some time to get back into old Wemby.
Yeah,
just because he's going to start the season next season. Like Asar took a little minute to kind of get back to what whatever Asar was. I don't know the peak of Asar, but same for Wemby. So I already know how the discourse is going to be. But I can understand why people would be concerned, especially the Spurs. Like, how they done things.
That's their whole franchise. Yeah, I mean, they got Fox, who's good, and I think Stephon Castle is going to end up being really good as well. But like you said, when I initially hear blood clots, I think I go to Chris Bosh because Chris Bosh was still hooping, like he was still good, and then his blood clot ended his career, like you said. But you said Asar, he had blood clot last season and he bounced back, and I think the same thing also happened to Brandon Ingram as well, and Brandon Ingram's still playing now. He's doing fine, so
he's out for the season.
Hopefully he bounces back. And Wemby is a freak of nature, so I actually don't really doubt that he will. I don't doubt he'll have any trouble bouncing back, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think with the Spurs, it's like, damn, okay. I think his name is Charles Bassey. Whoever the backup center is, he's out too. And they don't have the right. I don't think they have the right to Bismack Biyombo anymore. I don't know how that worked. I don't know what happened. So you're basically running Sohan at the 5. So very small ball. Very, very small ball.
Right now they just need to hit the tank button all the way and try to end up with Cooper Flag.
I don't think they are, bro.
I think them getting Fox. I think that actually makes them a little bit too good to like just blow up completely. Although, like they know they're playing for the future and everything, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna blow it up all the way. But it would be funny if they did. And if they get Cooper Flag, people are saying it'd be just like how they had David Robinson, then he got hurt, and then they drafted Tim Duncan first overall that next season. So that would be very hilarious if that happens. But I don't know if it's gonna happen.
That's not happening.
You're saying that because you just want to speak it into existence.
No. I'm being honest. You know how I feel about draft lottery. I don't take the biasness out of it. Like it's not a biasness for me. That shit rigged. They gonna give it to who they need to give it to. And me personally, If it's not Utah this year, it's gonna be Utah next year when that dude from BYU come out. But it's gonna be one of those teams where it's like, oh my god, like who won a hoop there? And they're gonna give it to that. They know who they didn't have that special team that go around, so they gave it to Atlanta last year. But whether it be
I can see
Utah, whether it be who's that?
I can see them trying to rig it for the Nets because it's in New York, and I know the Nets have a whole bunch of picks this year, so I could see it end up going to the Nets. Although the Nets aren't actually bad, so
yeah, they're playing competitive basketball. If I'm being honest, this would be a good year. This would be a good year for Toronto. This would be a good year for Toronto.
They don't want to. They wouldn't want to sing. They wouldn't want to sing Cooper Flag out the country.
I don't know. They not giving them to the Wizards because it was already a top 2 pick. They're not giving it to the Hornets because LaMelo Ball's still there. The Raptors are in play. The Utah Jazz are in play. That's it, because it can't be the Pelicans because they're not giving it to the worst team in the league. They have yet to give a number 1 draft pick to the worst team in the league since the new rules, and that's been 8 years. I think that's intentional. It has to be intentional by this point. So, is either Utah or Toronto, in my opinion. And if I was a betting man, maybe it is Utah. I don't know. Spurs, it don't make sense unless. Okay, you might be on to something. It depends on how the Suns finish, though.
Where's Cooper Flag from? He's not from Portland, is he?
He's from Massachusetts.
Okay, no, he's from the complete opposite side.
Or not Massachusetts. He's from Maine. He's from Maine, which is not too far away from Toronto, for being honest. But yeah. But that's real close to Maine.
The Warriors get knocked out. The Warriors don't make it in the play-in, and he goes there.
That don't make sense because they have hilarious, bro.
That would be hilarious, though.
It would. Hey, it would be. Hey, low key. Oh, no,
I don't think he can go to the Sixers. I think somebody has the Sixers pick, so I don't think he can.
Probably y'all.
Philly. Yeah, I think it might be OKC.
No, y'all, nigga, y'all got everything.
Honestly. Honestly, yeah. Shoot.
And all, I mean, and shit, like we got picks from other teams, but it's not to y'all caliber. Like it's just really just all the Suns shits. So if the Suns do something crazy, then it's up and it's stuck. Like we got it, but everybody else, it's you, nigga. You got it all.
It's a good spot to be in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie at all. But a bad spot to be in, though, is in the same position as Bobby Portis, because he has just been suspended for 25 games by the NBA for what do they call it? Did they call it a PED or like an unapproved substance, or I forget the exact terminology.
I don't think they said PED, but
okay.
I think it was I don't know if they called it a drug violation. I'm gonna look at the right word.
Oh yeah, he was suspended for violating the league's anti-drug policy.
Absolutely.
And when you normally hear that, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe these players, they're doing these drugs, they're making all this money, blah blah blah. Why did this happen?" But if you stop and like really look at the story, it turns out that Bobby Portis, he accidentally took the wrong pill. That his trainer, he gave him the wrong pill for pain medication, because the NBA has approved Toradol, which is, I hear about Toradol all the time. I never hear about it in a positive light. So I'm like, why do these sports leagues approve this horrible drug? But that's what the NBA has approved, Toradol. But his trainer gave him some Tramadol, which is a completely different drug. And because of that, it violates the NBA's anti-whatever. And it was really just a simple mistake, and that's why he was suspended. And it also turns out like that tramadol, it's actually one of like the most common drugs used in like just like pain medication in general, and it's not even harmful or not really. Everything's addictive, but it's not as bad for you as Toradol essentially. So it's just like NBA, bro, be for real, please, because he just unintentionally took the wrong pill. That's it, and they suspended him for
25 games.
Low key,
For the rest,
yeah, because we're at like the 55 game mark right now. So 25, that'll be he'll have 2 games left in the season essentially.
Yeah. He better thank God he on a playoff team. So I mean, this is not the end of his season, but like, all right, bro, like,
be for real, bro.
When it comes to certain things like this, and we'll bring up the Shaq clip soon. It's just like when you have certain situations like this, at some point, like we gotta use like common sense. You know, at some point, it's like, okay, like let's use our brains. Obviously, he gets no competitive advantage by taking this goddamn drug. And it's fucking Bobby Portis. Who is checking for this nigga? You know what I mean? Like, he's a good player. That's not for disrespect. But y'all making it seem like this is like some shit for Joel Embiid to play 82 games or some shit. Like, no, bro, it's Bobby Portis.
Exactly. But you mentioned the Shaq clip, and I'm gonna pull that up real fast just so y'all can hear about how sensitive some of these drug tests are for like these professional athletes. Now, this is Shaq telling the story of the time he tested positive for cocaine during the 96 Olympics.
96 Atlanta. They told us not to eat before we take the drug test. I take the poppy seed. You know, you remember Chuck? You know, you got to stand in line for 3-4 hours. I see them poppy seed muffins. Horace Ballmer come to the room and said, "Man, I'm disappointed. I tested positive for cocaine." And I was like, "Oh, hold on. All right. First of all, the Sarge would kill me. My mother killed me. I've never done it like that." Then they did the research, and the poppy seed muffins have the same derivatives as cocaine. So that's the only problem I have with, like, you know, the NBA said they tell you not to take this, and that, but something that's not on the list can be a derivative of something that you're not supposed to take, and you can mess with that one.
And I think he misspoke, because the whole poppy seed thing, it's actually, you test positive for, I think it's like opioids if you ingest poppy seeds, not cocaine. So he misspoke, but that's just how sensitive some of these drug tests are, bro. Like, and then even then, this was during the Olympics, he wasn't suspended or nothing. They end up realizing, oh, we messed up, or I guess Shaq messed, or it wasn't even a mess. It was just, it was a mistake happened. So they went back and course corrected.
It was like, it's poppy seeds.
That's so really what they should just do with Bobby Portis. Like, we messed up and reinstate him, but whatever. Though.
Yeah, I think the only reason why they didn't do it is because with Shaq, it was poppy seeds versus him. It's still like an actual drug that he took. Not that it makes a damn difference, because we already broke down that this substance, to be honest, I don't know why it's banned to begin with. Like, if we're being honest, I don't know why this actual thing is. And look, I ain't no goddamn doctor either, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I just know it. But it just seems like, I don't know. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's Bobby Portis. So how much do I really care?
All right,
like, this is sad, and this is like, damn, this is kind of like, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of, like, okay, like, why are we being a stickler about these goddamn rules when you clearly see there's nothing wrong? But at the same time, it's Bobby Portis, nigga. He plays for the Bucks. The Bucks employ Doc Rivers. I don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care. Like, I kind of care because it's ridiculous. I don't look. Do you think they go into the finals?
No, we know it's not gonna happen. But still, bro, leave Doc Rivers out of this. We're criticizing the NBA as we're criticizing the league right now. Not just Doc Rivers. Leave Doc Rivers out of this, man. He didn't need to catch a straight like that.
Yeah, you got to stay ready.
That's all I'm saying. You don't need to attack another black man during Black History Month.
My fault.
Unless they're acting like Tiger Woods, then you can attack him.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on. No, you can keep talking. I just need to do some research real quick.
Okay. But we can move on from the Bobby Portis topic to bring up something that's been going around.
He's getting slandered. My fault, buddy. Doc Rivers gonna forever get slandered. I did my research. I did my goddamn research.
Waiting for the pull up.
That's what happens when you're with black women.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, no knew his wife was white. His son, Austin Rivers.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You knew his wife was white. But anyways, there's a conversation that's been going around for really like the past like 2 years, if we're being honest, about honestly probably even longer, about who is going to be the new face of the league for the NBA.
Now, basically, this is not the first time Stephen A has said something similar, but he basically says, I don't believe an international player can be the face of the league, and let's see him expound on that.
My personal opinion is I don't believe an international player can be the face of the NBA. I know they're global iconic figures. Their popularity extends globally, but the NBA is an American-born sport, and it needs to resonate in America. And if it doesn't resonate in America, then it's not going to matter to America how you resonate beyond. And so that's just my mentality, UD. That's how I think about it. Not to say they can't be popular or what have you, but I just think about it that way. Shannon, as to your point that you made yesterday, UD wasn't here when you made it. I understand your point, and you're absolutely right. You can't want something more for somebody else than they want for themselves. And I totally get that. But that doesn't mean I'm not entitled to my wish list. And my wish is that Anthony Edwards changes his mind. And the reason why is because, my favorite players are him and Steph Curry. And where I fell in love with Anthony Edwards wasn't with the dunks or whatever. It was when the playoffs showed up last year and that brother was giving it to the Phoenix Suns. That to me was the nail in the coffin, UD, because
okay, I don't need you to glaze Anthony Edwards right now. I just wanted you to basically get to the point of, okay, this is why you feel like nobody out of America can be the face of the league. Now, before I add any extra context or any other people's opinions, because we have a couple more opinions, it's all derived from Anthony Edwards basically saying he doesn't want to be the face of the league. He doesn't care to be that. And to a degree, I guess I can understand where he comes from. He's also somebody that's basically like I don't know if you want to call it a disciple, but basically he looks up to KD a lot. So there's a lot of similar mannerisms of how they move about X, Y, and Z. But look, why not? Like, not talking about Anthony Edwards, but it's just like, who says you can't? This is the same person that said Shohei Ohtani was not going to be the face of baseball because people are not going to be, they're just not going to be turned to a Japanese superstar. And that nigga carries the fucking sport. That nigga carries the fucking sport. You remember Bobblehead Night when I brought up that goddamn video? That was in Los Angeles. There was a long ass line just to get fucking bobbleheads. And you talking about somebody can't be the face of the league in an American sport? It don't get more American than fucking baseball. It don't get more American than baseball. Take me out to the fucking ball game. Where the fuck you think Franks come from? This, like I said, at some point you keep swinging and missing, Stephen A. It all comes from xenophobia. It all comes. It's basic xenophobia. I try my best not to go that route for a few of these takes, but it's just old niggas just being xenophobic and just thinking it just can't happen. That's where I'm at with it.
The whole face of the league conversation to me is so stupid. It's so dumb. Who cares? Because honestly, I think Charles Barkley actually said this. I think he said it yesterday, but it's something I always sort of thought about. He was like, the face of the league, nobody has to appoint it. The person who's the face of the league just takes it. You just become the face of the league. So if Anthony Edwards becomes the face of the league, that's just how it happens. Like, he doesn't get to choose that. Nobody gets to choose that. It just happens. It happens organically. So it can literally be whoever. It does not matter. When people, oh, it has to be in America, it has to be. No, it doesn't. It's whoever the fans, whoever the people resonate with, and anybody can resonate with anybody. It's whoever the people find cool. So it can be somebody like Wemby, because honestly it probably will be, because he's sort of been engineered for this since he was like 14 years old, and little kids are gonna see him and be like, oh, he's cool, this, that, and the third. So like, it don't matter who you guys, oh, it has to be American, oh, it has to be this. Like, no, it can be whoever, because whoever's the face of the league, it just happens that way. It's not something somebody has to appoint. So the whole conversation is very stupid to me.
Which brings me to the next clip, basically, of Kevin Durant, because apparently this is the hottest of topics, to the point where we just got to ask everybody about these certain situations. So they asked Kevin Durant about Wemby or Anthony Edwards potentially being the face of the league, how he feels about face of the league stuff. And here's what he had to say, and I thought it was thoughtful. I thought it was a thoughtful response.
We all talk about being the face of the league, and for example, I asked him, he said, like, he's the face of the league. What do you think about that? And do you think like a foreign player can be the face of the league?
What I keep hearing that. What is the face of the league? Like, what does that entail? What do you do when you are the face of the league?
I can be the best, right?
I'm just saying, what comes with that? Because it seems like it's just more than basketball. So when we talk about, I want to know, you got an answer for me?
For me, it's like being the best player.
I think it's a little bit more than that, because because Ant playing great ball, and they said he's not fit to be the face of the league, or Luka's playing great, and sometimes people don't. And then they said that international players can't be the face. Like, I don't understand what the face of the league is and what that entails. I think all of these guys have impacted in the culture of basketball. So many players are probably watching Victor or Luka and trying to emulate what they do every day. And they're also watching them off the court and see what they do in their personal lives as well. So with the access, I think so many guys got an opportunity to make a huge impact as the face of the league, because they're inspiring so many people so easily, so quick. The access is there for everybody to watch and see what they go through. So, yeah, I don't even know when people say that term, just throw that term out. I need an explanation or a definition of what that truly means, because a lot of these guys, regardless of where they come from, are impacting people all around the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not just one guy. It's not just two guys. It's this whole generation, an era of players is going to impact the world in a different way than the guys before them. So I just think that's a term we use just so we can have a conversation.
That's literally all it is. It's just a term so people can just want to talk. It's an inconsequential term. None of this really matters. It's stupid. It's a moot point. It's dumb.
It's very dumb. And he hits it on the head. Like, everybody just kind of viewed LeBron of like what the expectation of the face, I guess, but it's just kind of like, I think they just gravitate towards, like, I don't know, that one time where people were looking at LeBron during COVID for like, oh, if he sits out, then everybody sits out, or just like the influence of like LeBron for a certain amount of years. But in actuality, it's just like, when it comes to the NBA, who cares? Who cares about the face? There are multiple faces in the league anyway. When you think about the NBA, you think about LeBron, Curry, KD. Who else? Basically, like, you
think about Jokic, think about Luka.
Yeah,
some people even think about LaMelo Ball, to be honest. Like,
literally, like, some people think about certain people at some point. So they make it seem like the face of the league is like, okay, like, if this nigga's not playing, I'm not watching NBA at all. Nigga, if LeBron is not playing tonight, I'm going to go watch Steph Curry. or I'm going to watch KD. There are other stars there that are faces of the league. So, or Jokic, or Luka. The way Luka has been dominating headlines for the past 2 weeks, and he ain't the wait, look.
And he gonna be in LA. He's gonna cook in LA eventually next season. Like, why can't be Luka? Like, all that stuff is just. And then also, like, KD, he also, what are you saying? He was like, what does that entail? Because everybody's saying, oh, phase the league. Nobody has said anything about what that entails. It's just a term people want to say. It's just the conversation is so dumb to me, bro. I just think it's stupid. It's a waste of bread.
Sexy Red tweeted, Luka got traded where? Sexy Red talking about Luka Doncic, and y'all out here talking about no European could be the face of the league?
Exactly.
Stop it.
My mom asked me about the Luka trade. She doesn't know basketball. Exactly. She doesn't know people.
Nah, like you said, people just want to yap. People just want to yap, and I can tell a lot of people gonna miss LeBron. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. A lot of people gonna miss LeBron because with LeBron, y'all was able to get away with dumbass, senseless nigga babble when it comes to sports, when it comes to basketball discourse. And y'all won't be able to do it the same way when LeBron leaves. That's why Skip is in the fucking shambles as we speak. His shit not hitting the same.
That's how it was at the NFL when Brady left, but then the NFL happened to get Mahomes. So that was lucky. I don't think it's going to be another LeBron. I guess maybe Wemby will be that next LeBron, but we had to see about that. But I'm just ready for the senseless nigga babble to end.
DCs. That should be punishable by death. Niggas don't want to talk about that. That should be the one that's punishable by death.
Listen, bro. It's a lot of things that need to be punishable by death. But you know, like we've been saying, this face of the year or this face of the league conversation is stupid. So let's get into some real conversations about, you know, these NBA awards, because All-Star break is sort of the halfway point of the season, even though it's for sure past the halfway point, but neither here nor there. So let's who are some of the predictions that we both have for some of these awards? And we'll save MVP for last. Let's go ahead and start with this newer award that I feel like is a completely made up thing and it's stupid, but the Clutch Player of the Year.
Clutch Player of the Year.
I can't remember who won it last year. I think it was DeMar DeRozan, but I could be completely wrong. But for Clutch Player of the Year this season, I just have to say it's Trae Young, because I've been seeing too many highlights of him like gaming niggas at the end of a game or like embarrassing people at the end of a game. So I would go Trae Young, to be honest.
Yeah, half of those videos probably came at the New York Knicks expense. So I might go ahead and say Trae Young. I know that I think there's some odds for Nikola Jokic to win it as well. But I have another award for that young man instead. But I'm gonna go Trae Young as well.
If the other award you're thinking of, the award I'm thinking of, I can't co-sign that. But we'll get to it when we get to it. Coach of the Year, though. Who do you think is gonna win Coach of the Year?
Honestly, it's probably gonna be Cleveland, and it's probably gonna clear. Shout out to Ime Udoka. He had a nice little run, but unless Ime was finna get the number 1 seed in the West, I just don't see him outbidding the Cleveland Cavaliers, because nobody expected them to be this goddamn high. I know it's the East, but I think the Cleveland Cavaliers might have that one if they keep on this trajectory that they're on. I don't even know. Are they still? Yeah, they're still the number 1 seed, 45-10, with a nice little gap between them and Boston. So winning matters.
I feel that. I understand that. I acknowledge that. But I still think Coach of the Year should go to Mark Daigneault. I think did he win it last year? He might have.
He did. But he did. He won it last year, which is why I'm
not upset at a repeat, because OKC, they just keep this train going no matter what happens. Or actually, really, now that I think about it, the even better choice, Yeah, scratch Dagenhall. A better choice would be Jamal Mosley for the Magic because they've had injuries to two of their best players and they were out for most of the season. And the Magic are still in playoff contention. I believe they're like they're the number 7 seed. And when Paolo went down and when Franz went down, they didn't really suffer any drop off despite missing their clear cut top dogs. So I will go with them because they're a good team and they're going to continue to improve as their players get healthier and healthier. So I'll go with them.
This is the problem with when it comes to certain awards like this, because it's like, man, there's just so many teams that improved this season. Like even the turnaround from the Detroit Pistons is not to go unnoticed as well. Like there are plenty of people like, damn, y'all are doing a good coaching job this go around. If they didn't care about wins so much, I would lean towards Jamal Mosley as well as a good candidate. But I think it goes off of shock value and win percentage. Mm-hmm. Because Dagenhall had it last year. They're probably not going to give it. Well, they probably would have gave it to him if everything stayed the same last year going into this year. But the shock of Cleveland becoming a number 1 seed and keeping it, the shock value versus win percentage, I think they're going to lean that way. But I agree with everything you got going on. If they gave it to OKC, I wouldn't be mad. If they gave it to Jamal Mosley, I wouldn't be mad. Hell, if they gave it to Ime, I wouldn't have been mad. There's a few teams. Shit. Detroit. If they gave it to Detroit, I really wouldn't be that goddamn mad based off of the turnaround. They had a historic loss of a season last year. To turn it around, and now you're in playoff contention. And you have Cade Cunningham going to the All-Star now, as an All-Star now. Like that. Hey,
that's actually a really good point with the Pistons as well. So, like you said, it's a lot of good coaches, which is a surprise because normally it's not that many. But
hey, that's what happens when you get these old niggas up out of here. That's what happens when you get them old niggas up out of here, yo. It's a new age. Real.
But for most improved player, who do you have?
Most improved. I had. Let me look at my notes that I just made up. I'm leaning towards. I really want to. I would love Cade Cunningham, but I like Norman Powell though. I think Norman Powell. Nobody expected the Clippers to be not only a playoff team, but I think they're still top 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I had
put up. They're top 6. They are still the 6th seed, which means they wouldn't even be in the play-in conversation. Now they lose any more games, and you look. Obviously that changes. But when you lose Paul George and you don't have Kawhi for the first start of your season, and Norman Powell has that quote like, man, look, sometimes people got to leave so people can shine, and niggas started laughing. I think he said addition by subtraction. Addition by subtraction, which is something I be saying all the time. I like when other people use similar quotes as me. I got to go Norman Powell.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Like last game, he dropped 41 points in an overtime win. Like Norman Powell, he should have been an All-Star. If LeBron would have actually sat out the game, like if LeBron would have announced he was sitting out the game, he probably would have been an All-Star. Like Norman Powell was averaging 13.9 points last season. This season, he's averaging 24 points. He's 31. Like in his 10th season, he's having his absolute best year. He's playing amazing. He's averaging 24 points, a steal, couple assists. He's shooting the lights out. Like he's shooting 43% from 3. Like he's going crazy. Like it's Norman Powell. It has to be. That's the only one that makes sense.
And Paul George is stinking that shit up.
Yeah.
Another nigga
that's stuff out there for Paul George.
Fucking ass. Nigga hasn't scored 20 point. Nigga hasn't had a 20-point game in over 2 months.
I think Paul George has been like hurt the whole season though, because they say like I think somebody was like he's been getting injections in his shoulder before to play every single game. And it's just like at this point, bro, just respectfully, you've made so much money in your career, bro. Just retire, man. It's not worth it.
All right.
But our next award we have is Sixth Man of the Year. And
Okay.
this one, I was not sure who to choose, but Greg, you have convinced me that it needs to be Peyton Pritchard because these white boys are cold, bro. During Black History Month, I hate to admit it, but they're cooking a little too much.
Yeah, it's Peyton Pritchard, and it's not even close. I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I had to remind myself, I'm like, who? Because even if Amen Thompson was a 6-man, I don't think he was going to beat out Peyton Pritchard. That nigga's been hooping. Peyton Pritchard's been hooping. And he's on the best. You know, I think the Celtics are still the best team in the East. I think
of course,
on the best team in the East. Yeah, I don't have any pushback on that as well. So.
Yeah. And now for Depoy, this one, it would have easily been Victor Wembanyama for Defensive Player of the Year. But now that he's out for the season, he won't meet like that games played threshold to qualify for these awards. So with this one, maybe it's a little bias on my part. Maybe it's a lot of bias on my part. But one thing is, I don't care. I think it should be Lou Dort. The Dortcher Chamber. It needs to be Lou Dort for Defensive Player of the Year, in my humble opinion.
Depoy in general is just very. It's kind of hard to vote on. I mean, like it's kind of like that's the only one where it's like, damn, like what are the real qualifications? Because sometimes, like being a good defender doesn't show up on the stat sheets. You know,
very true.
So. I can understand. That's why it's so hard for a guard like a Lou Dort to go get a Defensive Player of the Year because he's not going to average the amount of blocks that a big man is going to be because they're fucking big. So if they gave it to Lou Dort, look, I really wouldn't be mad. I think the nigga got anger issues. In my personal opinion, I think the nigga got anger issues. I done seen that nigga a couple times. OKC be chill for the most part. That nigga there,
bro. You acting like he's Draymond. You acting like he's Dylan.
No. Let's not. No. Let's understand. There are levels to everything I say. There are definitely levels. I would never compare that nigga to that. But for y'all to be chill, that's the nigga I keep my eye on. But that being said, if I had to be biased, I'm gonna go ahead and go Evan Mobley. I've given him a lot of slack over the years. I've been criticizing that man very heavily, and I think instead of going to Jaren Jackson route, which I think he's favored to go, Depoy, I'm gonna go Evan Mobley because I got to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to you. Good year for you.
Yeah. And now next award we got Rookie of the Year. This one's a little harder to low key. It's been like a few rookies who've been cooking this entire season. But my pick,
that was weird. Yeah, this was a weird year for Rookie of the Year. Yeah,
because it's no like super bona fide like star killing right now. Because when it was Paolo, it was Paolo. When it was Wemby, it was Wemby. So like now it's like what? But
it's like Ricochet.
I think I'm gonna go with Khalil Ware because I think he's sort of getting into the lineup more and more, and I think he's gonna finally start to cook now that the Heat got Jimmy Butler out of there and they don't gotta deal with the headache that is Jimmy Butler. Now I think he's gonna be able to cook a little bit more because they're going to need some scoring, and he can put the ball in the basket, and he's a monster defender. So I really think it's gonna be Khalil Ware.
I'm very high on Khalil Ware as a basketball player. Coming out of Indiana, he's a nice prospect. If you would have asked me this 3 weeks ago, I would have said Khalil Ware as well. But I'm going Stephon Castle. Wemby's out for the season. That's just more touches for you, bro.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
That's more touches for you. And you don't have a center. You don't have a center right now. You're playing small ball 5 with Jeremy Sohan. So, the way he's been hooping and playing as of recent, his name is starting to get out there. All-Star Weekend. kind of put his name on the map with the dunk contest as well for other casual eyes. Because my mom was like, "Who's Stephon? Who's Stephon Castle?" Look, he's next up after next to Wemby, I guess. So I'm gonna go with him
for sure. And then finally, the last award is obviously the MVP. And with me, I don't even think this is biased at all. I think it's going to be Shea.
It's not biased. Not biased.
Shea has been. I know people have been saying, "Oh, Jokic," because Jokic is still doing Jokic thing. He's still the best player in the league. His numbers still look insane. But lately, Shea had like that one 4-game stretch or whatever. He dropped 50 points. He's just been going crazy as of late. So I feel like this is him making that push to win MVP. And I think there also going to be some sort of voter fatigue with Jokic because that always plays a factor with the MVP. So I think they're not going to want to give it to him. So I would take Shea as an MVP.
I think if SGA doesn't win it this year, I don't know when he could ever win it. Because
if he doesn't win it this year, he probably won't win it. Period.
He just won't win it. And like I said, I'm not mad if SGA wins it because he's been playing a hell of a year. Great year. But damn, I'm almost ready to say I think Jokic's probably the best player I've probably seen in my life sometimes. Sometimes when I look at that nigga play, bro.
And your life is crazy because
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's recency bias for sure. But sometimes when I watch that nigga play, I'm like, damn, this might be the best thing I've seen in a long time, bro. But I get it.
Jokic's gonna end up top 10 all-time conversations.
He already there.
He's not already in there.
He already there. He finna be in top 5 conversations if he don't fuck around. The only thing
that's the thing, bro. He won't.
The only thing that'll keep him out the top 5 is if he just don't win another championship and they start ring counting. But goddamn, let that nigga win another MVP. Oh Lord, I don't know. So like I said,
he doesn't. He just averages 30, 13, and 13. This is what he does. What can you do with that? Nobody can do anything with that.
I see this nigga shoot contested 3-pointers at the end of buzzers after niggas done played immaculate defense and it goes in and does not touch the rim. That would frustrate the fuck out of me. I be looking at Anthony Davis and he's like, bro, what more do I need to fucking do? This is pissing me the fuck off.
I think Jokic is shooting 45% from 3 this season. And that takes into account all the half court heaves and everything he throws. Because he always will throw a half court shot at the end of a quarter. So those shots are misses most of the time. They bring down his he's made some of them, which is also crazy. But those shots bring down his average. So if he just wasn't doing that, he'd probably be shooting 50% from 3.
50% from 3, bro.
And then I think they say he also takes the furthest. His average 3-point shot is 29 feet, and that's the furthest out of anybody in the NBA. It's just he's just doing stuff and it's working. He's doing whatever and it's working. Nobody can do anything for him. And I don't think he's gonna suffer any injuries because his game doesn't lend itself to that. He's not a high flying athlete or whatever. It's just he's just cooking.
I'll say this. He may not be, and maybe it's just because I can relate weirdly. But he may not be the best thing we've ever seen. I don't know another fat nigga that's better than him. That's the best fat nigga I've ever seen in my life. That's the best fat nigga I've ever.
Shaq was fat later in his career, so that doesn't really count.
Even in prime Shaq, I don't care. I don't care.
Respect to Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was never as good as Jokic is right now, so.
I don't care if it's prime Shaq. I don't care if it's prime Shaq, bro. I just never seen a nigga that's better than fat. This fat nigga here, and Jokic's not even fat like he used to be. He been slimmed up over the years. But I'm taking Jokic over Shaq. I'm sorry. I'm taking Jokic over Shaq. I'm taking Jokic over prime Shaq. I'm not even talking about fat nigga Shaq. I'm talking about prime Shaq.
Prime Shaq?
I'm
when you
taking
say
him
that,
over
you mean
prime.
just like you?
I'm
Are you
rec-
saying like you just rate him higher? Like you wouldn't take him like 1-on-1 or nothing like that?
He said 1-on-1. Even
Yeah,
if I'm taking that nigga, I'm definitely picking Jokic if it's 1-on-1. But
I don't know, bro. Because like Shaq is the only player. I think there's only a couple players who are like strong enough to sort of defend Jokic, and Shaq might be one of them.
what is that nigga Shaq finna do at the 3-point line? Tell me what that nigga finna do on the.
I mean, Jokic isn't gonna run by him,
huh?
Jokic isn't gonna blow. Jokic's not gonna blow by him or nothing, so he don't got to worry about that. He just D him up on the 3-point line. Just guard him close.
A lot of niggas guard that nigga close.
That's what I'm just.
A lot of niggas guard that
But they're
nigga
not
close.
strong enough.
What happens? What does strength have to do with contested jumpers? What does strength have to do with contested jumpers, nigga?
Shaq taller than Jokic, so he
I
can.
thought it was the same height. I thought it was the same
Jokic
height.
only like
Not the
six-
same height.
Jokic only like 6'10", which is also crazy.
He's 6'10". I didn't know. I thought he was 7 foot. Really?
No.
For real?
Yes.
I did not know. I didn't. I'm promise to God. I swear, I thought that nigga was 7 foot. Really? Damn. He doing all that at 6'10". Oh, he's 6'11". Same shit. He doing all this shit at 6'10". Is crazy. Oh my God.
Exactly, bro.
I'm still taking him over Prime Shaq. I don't care. But to get off the discourse, I agree with you. I think SGA wins it this year, but I need niggas to understand. If Jokic wins that hoe, I will not be surprised if he had a playoff.
We've never seen anything like Jokic, but
Jesus Christ.
I think, Greg, I think it is that time though.
Psych. Football season's over. Football season's over, nigga. It's hot take of the week. For people that don't know, we give our hottest take, and we do it weekly. I thought we just, want to explain it for the people that are new to this. But Jax, do you have a hot take?
Yeah, I do actually. So my hot take is that and I've been thinking about this. I went back and I rewatched the highlights and everything. And I know people hate it, but the dunk contest it's perfectly fine, bro. There's nothing anybody can do to improve it. Like I think out of all the dunk contests, like it's hard to be any more creative than it's already been. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Like you can't. The only thing you can do to make the dunk contest better, I guess, is add more props. But people that complain about the dunk contest, you sort of gotta stop. There's not like what more dunks can be done. They've done everything. So that's my hot take. You can't improve the dunk contest. It's fine, bro.
And on top of that, we don't need stars to be in a dunk contest if they're not creative.
That's like,
stop bringing up these. We need stars in this bitch. No, we don't.
Because I think people had asked Anthony Edwards, and he was like, "I can't." He said, "I can't really do the dunk contest because all I have is power. I'm not really creative." He's like, he said the only dunk I could really do that's creative is a windmill. And if you think about all his highlights, they've just all been windmills. Because I mean, that's all he said he can do. Exactly. He was like, if y'all have a dunk on contest, somebody I can do that, but just normal dunk contest, I'm not creative enough. And I appreciate that self-awareness because a lot of people don't realize that. Like, I know a lot of people wanted Russ to do the dunk contest. Like, he's not creative either. He was just super duper strong. They wanted Zion to do it. Zion just got that 360. Like, that's all he be spamming. It's a very tough 360, but that's sort of all he's shown us.
They're only tough in game. They're only tough. They are. Well, I won't say they're only tough in game. They're tougher in game. You take that shit to a dunk contest. At some point, they're gonna be like, all right, man.
Like it's gonna be cool because it's like super powerful and everything, but like
at some point,
that's
they're
all
gonna
it
be like,
is.
damn. They're gonna be like, damn, babe, chicken Alfredo again. That's how they gonna view it. That's how they gonna view it, nigga. Exactly. And Jaylen Brown should have taught y'all a long time ago, or at least last year. We don't just need an all-star that can dunk in the dunk contest. It was ass. So I agree. All right. I finally got it. And is this a well-informed hot take? No. This is just how I feel.
Those are the best ones.
This is just how I feel. If LaMelo Ball was fat, y'all would view that nigga the same way y'all view Zion Williamson. Him and Zion Williamson, from an injury perspective, they the same nigga. This is also a nigga that's on my basketball fantasy team. So I know how many games this nigga has missed. He started off really hot early in the season. So he kind of, got away from those allegations for a hot little minute. This nigga still dealing with ankle issues. Now, I don't know how skinny people take care of their body. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, when it comes to Zion, they can always throw this nigga not eating right. That's why.
Okay.
That's why this nigga's not in shape. I don't know what it is for skinny people where you can tell, like, okay, he's obviously not working on his body. It's obvious he's not doing what he needs to do to stay on the court. They just turn it into freak accidents or, nigga just injury prone. If it's Zion, you get your fat ass in the gym, my nigga. Stop eating all this fucking food. Get off the BBL women. I don't know. And I'm not saying that Zion is absolved of those things because he's probably a BBL demon. But at the same time, when it comes to LaMelo Ball, I have not seen any real improvement on taking care of his body. I don't know how to do it. He a skinny nigga. So if I say anything, I'm hating or I'm not, you know what I mean? Or they'll just go to, Steph Curry had ankle issues back in the day. It's just like, yo, the amount of games you missing and you a YN. So I know he looked like one of them niggas that play dickhead basketball and just gets up, don't stretch, and just go hoop. That's the vibe I get, even though he probably does his due diligence. But I don't know. Him and Zion the same nigga to me. If we was to have them niggas in the same, they weren't in the same draft class. But it's just like, damn, like, because LaMelo was the year after. It's just like, damn, like, is he injury prone or does he not know how to take care of his body?
I honestly think it's just injury proneness because I really just think it's genetics because Lonzo, he had them ankle injuries and all that. So he keep having them like lower body and leg injuries and stuff. Now LaMelo as well. And
it's kind of fucked
Jello,
up.
He didn't really make much of it. But I think LeVar might have had diabetes because I don't know, but that's normally why people get their foot amputated like that. So I think LeVar could have had diabetes. But with Jello, he didn't really pan out in the NBA, so he didn't like play long enough to see if he has those same durability issues. But I really do just think it's genetics. They just got like some bad feet in that family, like some bad like legs, bad ankles, bad knees, whatever. So I think I just think that's it, honestly. Like maybe he'll get over those issues like Steph, because I know Steph, he'd be wearing them big ankle braces now, and he ain't really had no ankle injuries since. So maybe LaMelo might have to get on that plan. But
that's what I'm saying.
I really just think it's that.
I understand that, like, you may be coming into this league under some form of adversity, but I would feel a little bit better if he was like, oh, okay, I'm injuring myself with the fat ass ankle bracelet. I just see that nigga ankle bone all out, all willy-nilly like he normally does, shoots the one-legged pull-up threes that he always makes. He is a cold nigga, but it's just like, damn, like, you're not even, I don't even see you taking the precautions. Like I said, when you're a fat nigga, you can always throw it back to your weight. This is why you're not even taking the net. You know, freak accidents can happen, but you're not even setting yourself up for greatness eating the way you eat. Well, you know your ankles is bumping.
That's true.
And you're not doing nothing to keep yourself on the court. Like, I can see if it's a wrist here, a shoulder here, it's always the legs, it's the ankles. And you got a brother that's going through some similar shit. But you're not doing nothing about it. You just going back up there playing basketball the way you are. That nigga played against the Lakers and beat them like yesterday. That nigga out tonight.
Yeah, he was cooking.
That nigga out tonight. So, you know, not just to be a LaMelo Ball rant, but it's just like I think skinny. Yeah, y'all gotta. I know a lot of people are fat phobic, and I get it to a certain degree. But y'all gotta look at these. Y'all gotta look at these other niggas. Y'all can't just blame everything on injury proneness when they're not doing anything about it. You just allowing yourself to just be injury prone and not doing any precautions. I think that should be slandered a little bit more. That's my hot take. Slander these injury prone niggas.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that take.
That's probably a crazy statement to say, but I think you need to slander them a little bit more so they can do better, you know. But that's it. We didn't have a lot to talk about yet. Yeah, we ended up getting it an hour and 23 per usual. Jax, any last words?
Like I always say, and I say it every single time, you want to change your life, go do some life-changing shit. As Daniel would say, some life-changing.
Life-changing.
Life-changing. Really, you want to change your life, go do something like that.
As for me, hey man, if you're a black man, find you a black woman.
That's what happens when you're with black women. Life-changing.
It is life-changing. So I'm not encouraging you to do anything you don't want to do. Yeah. I'm just here.
But you should want
life-changing. You should want better for yourself. You should want life-changing things. A black woman gonna change your life. So go find you a black woman. They're not hard to find. They're everywhere.
Depending on where you are active, I'm gonna hold you.
Nah.
If you're in Minnesota on Love Is Blind, you can't find any of them. So
no. There's black women there.
They just don't
trust me, Jax. I trust you. They just didn't do their work. They scared Tyler and Ashley scared them niggas from digging deeper into Minneapolis. There's some black people there. Trust me, Jax. There's black people everywhere. That was unacceptable. Love Is Bland. Yeah. Fuck that season, man. I'm scared to do a recap. They better tighten the fuck up.
I'm still on episode 3. I was like, man, I don't even feel like watching it. I'm gonna do it, I think, but still, man, it's.
Hey, you remember that nigga? You remember that one nigga that responded to us? He commented on one when we did the Love Is Blind segment.
Oh yeah, he was like, "I'm glad to see some brothers commenting on Love Is Blind." I was like, right,
I know that nigga is so pissed this season.
I gotta find
because I know he's not having a good time.
I want to find his page. I'm gonna find his page and see what if he's had to say anything about this.
That's what I'm saying. I know he's not having a good time breaking this shit down. Because why are we still in the pod 6 episodes in? I heard there's 6 episodes of straight pods. They're in the pods like episode 5.
All right, bro. What?
That's fucking crazy. It's normally not like that. It's like 3, right? It's like 3 and then
they're out the pods by episode. They're on vacation by episode 4 normally.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck, we still in the pods. It's probably ain't shit to do in Minneapolis.
That just lets me know that none of them get together in the end. So they're trying to extend it. None of them get together. They're just trying to extend it. I can see that now.
Jax, it's so bad. I don't care if they get together. I'm not even concerned. Everybody looks the same. Yuck.
I don't know who any of these people are. They all look the same, bro.
Let me hear this shit.
I can't any of them. That's not even like any like that's not even like being any type of bias or like no, they literally all look related.
Nah, man. At this point, bring Tyler and Ashley back. If this is what you gonna do to me, if this is how we doing it,
see what they're doing.
Just bring them niggas back. Oh, apparently, one last thing, and I'll leave it alone. Apparently, somebody that saw Tyler's Tyler's Hinge profile the other day. Niggas, I guess he's back on the market now. And when the lady said it, like, I guess he went back into the comments. It was just like, people just believe anything these days. Trying to make it seem like it was like a fake page or whatever. Look, brother.
Nobody wants to make it to you.
I know that game. I know a lying ass nigga when I see one. Any nigga that say believe what you want,
they did it.
Nah, brother. With that being said, we'll catch y'all niggas next week. Go find y'all black woman. If you're non-black, that's not a message for you. Disengage. And with that, we will see y'all niggas next week.